Hi, my name's Dan Keane from Spitfire Audio. Today I've got a really exciting addition to our original series, Cinematic Frozen Strings. This is a brand new set of samples recorded on the edge of silence in the hall at Air Studios. And this is a very small ensemble, just 8 players, recorded antiphonally in the same arrangement as Albion Tundra. So if you've got that library, these are going to work really, really well together. I'm so excited to show you everything in this library. I'm just going to start with the long flautando consordinos. So as you can hear, both delicate and fragile, and also really warm and rich. Now this, as I say, is an 8-player ensemble, 4 violins, 2 cellos and 2 basses. So we're missing the violas here, but because the basses are down the middle, it has a really central stereo image that I think is quite attractive. For me, the upper range is my favourite. There's something so beautiful about these delicate recordings made on the edge of silence. And because there's such a small number of players, you can really hear every player, you can hear the vibrato. As I said before, this is going to blend really, really well with Albion Tundra, and just to demonstrate that, I've got the flautando consordinos here as well. And if I just play a chord, so you've got the scale and the width of Albion Tundra and then that intimate detail from Cinematic Frozen Strings. So if we just come back over to Cinematic Frozen Strings, at the bottom here, you'll see our microphone array. And this is where you can blend between the microphone signals. So on the left, we've got close, which is our kind of valve mic spot microphones that are summed together to give you a little bit more detail of the players. Then we've got the tree microphones. This is what we typically have above the conductor's head, and this is a decatree setup, so 3 omni microphones that give you a really beautiful stereo image of the room. And then finally, something that's new to Cinematic Frozen Strings is the super close microphones, where on each player there was a close DPA microphone that was mounted to the bridge of each instrument. And if I just turn this on, this is my favorite sound by far. In fact, I'm just going to turn off the other mics for now. Have a listen to this. This gives you an otherworldly experience of these strings. In fact, if I just turn off the reverb here, it doesn't necessarily sound like it was recorded in a big room. I really like blending this in with the tree and the close microphones, just to give a really rich signal. And so if I just fade this in, you can hear the difference that this super close signal has. And so once again, if I just record enable the Tundra strings as well, you'll hear how they complement each other. On On the right hand side, we've got our reverb, which is a long tail, and our release settings. This controls how quickly the notes decay. The tightness doesn't affect these long techniques right now, but I'll show you the shorts later on. And of course, we can adjust this with the button in the middle, so we can add more reverb or switch over to the release and add more release if we need to. Let me show you some of these other techniques because there is actually quite a large array. So I showed you the flautando concertino to begin with. This is the super saltasto, and I guess while flautando is a Spitfire staple, this is a little bit more experimental. Have a listen to this. So you can hear, because of that bias towards the cellos and the double basses, we end up with a naturally warm sound. In contrast, have a listen to this col legno tratto. Because of the small number of players there, you can really hear the detail of each performer. Moving down, we've got a really lovely experimental patch here between saltasto and flautando, which I want to show you. So the players are actually moving between slow bows and a faster bow, and this just has a naturally shifting sound to it. And this is where it really helps to have this recorded into the samples, because creating something like that with programming would be really difficult otherwise. Before we move on to the shorts, I just want to quickly show you these harmonic tremolos. And again, I'm going to turn on the super close microphones here. And naturally, this is shifting towards the upper end of the keyboard because of the way the harmonics are played. So layering this in with your larger string ensembles or even other patches can just help to add a little bit more texture. Okay, let's move down to the shorts now. As you can see, we've got some familiar faces here with the col legno and the brushed spiccato consordinos. Let me play this col legno first. And again, if I turn on this super close microphone, we get the detail of the up close sound. And because of this antiphonal arrangement, again, we've got the basses down the middle, which creates quite a satisfying stereo image. One of the things I really like here is the brushed spiccato consordinos. Because it's a little bit longer, we hear the tail within the room. I'm actually going to turn up the reverb a little bit here. And again, like the rest of the samples, recorded on the edge of silence. The last thing I want to show you here is the short mandolin pluck, and I believe this was played with the thumb, so it's got a slightly softer sound. So there you go, Cinematic Frozen Strings is available now as part of our original series, and you can buy it for £29, dollars or euros. And I have to say, this is one of my favourite libraries, and this is definitely going to go into my template. For more information about the product, check out the links down below, and if you haven't already, do subscribe. We've got loads of really exciting things coming soon. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Goodbye.